Agario. It's Agario. This guy knew about Agario before Agario came out. Oh my god, it's Agario. Painting. What does it mean? Agario. What's up, my friends? I'm Stat. This is the Beginner's Guide. Let's check it out. It's a new game I got. I'm interested to see what it's like. Please make sure audio is on. Alright, guys. We got some audio. Controller. I have one. A button. You only press one button.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Kota. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Kota in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Oh,
and mostly it's just Kota learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Kota's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. Okay. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
I have no idea what this game's about.
It's 2008. Kota
this?
starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Kota. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Wow. Let's take a look at Kota's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, so we fixed the controllers. Now we're good to go. Okay, now we have a gun. Wow. What is this?
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Kota.
Escape from Whisper. No sound effects. Hello. Must escape with no sound effects.
Security hole breached.
How do you run?
Hostile alien life form.
Oh. Person? What?
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Yeah.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Kota thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Open. Who's Kota?
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
What? Oh. Labyrinth.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Whisper.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
What?
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
What the hell? They want me to kill myself here? What? And now I can't leave. Oh my god, I have one choice. I only have one choice. Sacrifice myself for everyone. Okay.
Let me pause here for a second.
Dead.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Kota had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
What? What? It respawns you? Wow. What the fuck, man?
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Kota identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Doom. I can't move. I can't move. Oh my god.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
What the fuck? Oh my god. What? What? Who thinks this is a good idea? Oh my god.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Kota's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Backwards. This is so strange. Future is always behind her. Wow. How will she find the string? Hi. What? What? Oh. What?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
Oh my god.
Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
So this guy just took all this guy's games and made it into one game. You're now entering. What is going on here, man? It's so strange.
And that's it.
What?
Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I'm intrigued.
Oftentimes, Kota would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him.
What is this?
And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Oh my god, I can't walk faster. Why is it slowing me down? What?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Oh.
So why, if Kota's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
What is this? So I should press enter. Okay, full speed. Door. Stand on X staring at bear for 3 hours. The game will collect items. All these ideas. I gave him only motivational quotes played one after another while the
A
other
room
cannot
that's
move.
warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
You are a gate. You are a gate. A button you press to stop the chaos. That doesn't work. You walk around and talking people
Kota
down.
would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was
That's so
actually a
crazy.
vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Oh wow. This guy is tripping. What is happening? I don't understand. I'm so confused. Okay. I'm actually tripping. What is this? That was cool though. There's some
Well,
interesting
this
ideas
is new
there.
for Kota. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Puzzle. What the? Okay. Yeah. Puzzle. I puzzled it. I fixed it. I fixed it. What?
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Don't forget
We're going to
it.
see it a lot.
Don't forget it, okay. Let's remember that. Okay.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end.
That's
Simple
it.
enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Enter. Whoa. Wow. That's a
How
lot of
about
stuff.
that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Wow.
Either way, I think that the point
Look
is
at
the
all
same.
this stuff,
Is
man.
that most of the time, you don't get to know what you're missing.
Look at all
or
this.
even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
What is my role? What is it? Okay, back down this thing. You're now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Kota believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I don't know what's happening. The great and lovely descent. Ooh, that's a nice looking house. Can we go there? Hey. This looks pretty nice.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Streetwise fool.
To make all of these games, Kota is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Kota's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oh my god. What do we do?
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Kota's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Like, we're like cattle here, man. We're like cattle. This is creepy, man. Kota. What are you doing to me, Kota? Oh my god. Oh god.
This prison, funny enough, in Kota's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
What?
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
1 hour.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
This guy's
There
like the
wasn't.
ultimate troll, man. Sends him a bunch of boxes. Oh god. Alright.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Same solution.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Kota is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I'm trying to figure it out. What is it? Why does he make it so that the door closes and you have to go through it?
Here, Kota begins
Yo
using
there.
a kind of dialogue
Did it come
system
up
that he fashioned out of
above?
the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
1, 2, 3 buttons. Yes, the world was stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I just spent hours in. Yes, there's floating colored blocks. We go 3. That was literally the last thing I did before I did that. Before I came here. Okay, last thing. Please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Trust me, don't want to go over there. Someone else let me in. Don't go over there, man. Don't do it. We just escaped this prison. There must be an ending. What? Click, click. Oh wow, another one. Yes, you want to know how to solve it. Yes. No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it? Why would I care about the space between the black doors? Actually, now that you mention it, I feeling strange while they pass through. I don't recall space between doors. I recall feeling strange. It's a strange moment in my life. Don't think too hard about it. Look how creepy this is. We'll see it again soon. Okay. Okay. Down the stairs.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Music's cool though. Now we're outside, that's a lamppost. Yeah. It's like some sort of a housing complex.
It's a lamppost.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Kota fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
This is so strange. So strange. This game's connected to the internet. Hey, that's good. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. That's cool. That's cool. It's like an app. Nice room, not. I want to leave a note.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Kota. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Do not
Either
be
way,
afraid, do care.
to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs
shit is this
and
cavern?
has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
There's an acorn somewhere here. Sailors are looking for it. Where are the acorns?
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Kota often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
A free t-shirt.
I think this is why I always liked Kota's games so much.
Door wide.
Is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Someday I'll meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Wow, new room. Do you hear the chimes? What is happening? It's not very crowded here. Ah, don't bother. This is where I go. Get off. Failed to write anything here. Stop, turn back. Misery. This is so strange. Cabbage shapes our nation. What? You don't talk about me that way. Oh my god. I think this is not going anywhere. What? I need to someone to talk. This is so weird. This is a note. What was going on in this guy's head? Don't listen to the other notes. This guy, man. I'm not safe. This is so unnerving. Agario. It's Agario. This guy knew about Agario before Agario came out. Oh my god, it's Agario. Painting. What does it mean? Agario. Whoever made this has issues. Agario. Who are you all? We will all die someday. Stop pretending you are other people. Spoilers doesn't mean anything. Screw you, man. Cabbage shapes our nation. Devil Tower Star. That one's gonna get left alone. We're not gonna touch that one. That one looks sketchy. Well, I'm here now. We're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. What? More room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Kota's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
I wish there were notes in Weirwood. That'd be pretty cool. If there was an app like that, huh? Spiraling nonsense.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Kota can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've been here for like literally an hour. What do I do? Help! Help! This doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Second door won't open. Shit, how do you solve it? Developer, please answer.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause.
Back to
just for a moment,
later, guys.
A few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
This doesn't make sense. Second door won't open. What? You hear this whispers, man? I feel like I'm tripping out. Oh my god, there's that lamppost again. The typewriters. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to talk. Talk to me, please. Why are you having some difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. If you guys didn't see that, it's behind me. That's why you didn't see it behind me. I didn't know that things would show up there. Porn stars.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Yeah? Hang with it? What do I do? Let me out. Agario. It's Agario again. This guy loves Agario. He invented Agario. This guy invented Agario. Agario. Oh my god, Agario. Agario. Whoop. Whoop.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Kota gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Put a giant hole in the ground. That's not what I thought it would put there. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? Let's put a huge picture of a horse, a washing machine, 10 stoves lined up against the wall. 10 stoves! That doesn't look at all like 10 stoves. I think we should light up this room a bit. A skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open up this baby. I'm thinking 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. Tesla coils. Yeah, Tesla coils. That's not a Tesla coil. And a table. You need a table. Okay. Who are you? What are you exactly doing? I'm pretty sure none of these choices makes any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. 3. Tables were invented in 1935. Random fact. A random stat. What the?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
So strange.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care. Remember each step. First, click this table. Good. Now go over the photo frame and click it. Click to turn slightly. Now the floor lamp in this room off. Then turn it back on. Now go left side sofa. Move it a little bit. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it, and real prison escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. Put me in prison. See if I can remember that. Keep going.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working? But Kota doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. Prison time. What is it then? We're outside. Kind of like some bushes, like a maze kind of bush. Okay. There's that lamppost again. I don't know. Oh my god. What is this? Like a phone call. Hey, it's me. I'm you from escape after you escaped the prison. It says hello, who is this? And I respond, it says you're me. ... So you're trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in a furniture maze.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Kota wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Kota talking to himself.
So it says, that's where I am right now. Oh, I'm glad to know that I got out eventually. What's it like to escape? And then it's, actually, I'm already forgotten what a prison was like. It's strange, but in a way, I kind of miss being in prison. It feels like being completely still and wild in emotion at the same time. Okay, 3. And then I guess myself is saying, do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared. I'll get out, and then things will be exactly the same as before. No, I'm really the same person now as I was back then. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. I'm gonna say we changed. Oh, good. That's nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Age kind of does that, you know? I'm still here, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Remember to enjoy who you are right now. It won't last. Oof. I'll go with number 3. That's deep, man. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were still trapped? No, I don't think the first person tried to call back. Yes, I did to get a call. That's how I escaped. I'm gonna say no. Can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. Wow. I'm gonna say sincere. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just be sincere. It will make sense. And say, it'll make sense. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape. Oh my god. This hurts myself. I'm hurting. I'm hurting.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Alright, I feel like we got a feel for this game. We kind of want to take a small break now, and then we'll continue from this moment. I feel like that was kind of like a little bit of a conclusion to that beginning part. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed it. We will be back next time with part 2 of this video. So thank you so much. Have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to follow the beard, my friends. Take care.
Or in the end.
Like this and then move.
Yes.
Okay.
You're the worst. You weren't holding run. You were not holding run.
You didn't tell me to hold run.
Jump. That was so slow. Oh my god, that was...
I forget.